As far as for game number 2,
Oh, we are seeing Exodia.
yeah, Zodia coming on through. So the lantern.
This is the first time all weekend we're seeing this.
Yes.
We're going to
it
see how
is.
good this is.
Yeah. Well, I know that you had your favorite play previously with Tinkerbell onto Tink, but
I'm going to put this down right now. Jose's not going to lose this game.
Making your claim.
I've never lost the game when I played a Rockstar Stitch on turn 3, so I'm just going to stick to it. He's not going to lose this game. Oh, it's fine, because we're back, and we are sitting down with Jose. Jose, congratulations.
Thank you.
Winning Lorcana OP Tour Miami. Talk about your experience of the weekend.
It was a great weekend. A lot of different matchups. A lot of Amber Steel. A lot of Ruby Amethyst. Very long games. A lot of games went to time. I technically won all my games 2-0 the first day, so
Very
time
nice.
didn't beat me, but a lot of my friends lost to it. The Ruby Amethyst mirror.
Right.
And even an Amber Steel mirror.
Right.
You always outgrind them, and you can win. There's a win condition about decking them out.
Right.
And it's very viable. So.
Right. Yeah, and it comes down, right, because, like, we saw kind of in Game 1 of the finals that those mirrors can just be a grind. I didn't count the turns, but you probably were in, like, the 15 or 16 turn range for two decks that are known for being able to pressure the game very well. And you also really both decided to take the play area very serious and keep your opponents off certain cards. And you made that decision to smash Ariel. And that was honestly a huge turning point in the game. He played one card in 3 turns after that play.
That's the whole reason we decided to play Smash over Fire the Cannons. That and since we removed the Fire the Cannons, we could fit in the Hades.
Right.
And this mashup, if they're playing an aggro build, your deck's fine. You have a lot of work. You're going to play a mid game. You want Smash. You want to hit 5.
Right.
Tank plus Smash is 5 against Ruby Amethyst. If they play a BLT, you have no out. You have to play a Grab Your Sword and a Smash.
Right.
So I think Smash with a key card, also Hades.
Yeah.
A lot
so
of
Hades
games
ended up being good.
A lot of games went went a lot of turns.
Right, and it helps you loop, because he can loop himself too and just always be a threat.
You usually don't loop them. You usually get enough battle. You want to hit certain numbers, maybe 10 mana, 11, so we can loop it with a Surfer.
Right.
Loop it with a Tinker. Usually be very wary of shifting Tinker to Tinker turn 10 and sing and Grab Your Swords. Because the mirrors, it's whoever can keep the opponent off the board.
Right.
You have to quest early to make sure there's a turn you have enough pressure to actually win the game afterwards. But in the early game, maybe you quest 4 or 5, then it's just a grind. You don't want to feed your friends Rapunzels, your opponents Rapunzel. And the name of the game was a Temple Rapunzel turn 4.
Very fair.
It's an anti-Rapunzel in herself. She's a 1/5. Your opponent cannot play into Rapunzel, and she's going to stick on board and she's going to lure for 6 or 8.
Right.
And most people, they just keep it in hand. Just play the curve.
Yeah, just play the card, right? Just play the card.
Doesn't do nothing on the hand.
I'm very, very in favor of putting the threat in play. At the end of the day, you're still 2 lore.
If you have mana, you use your mana. Usually the most efficient plays are the best.
Yeah, and we saw again in the finals. Now you saw it after he discarded, but your opponent decided not to cast a Grab Your Swords when he had 5 open resources. And then the next turn, you a whole new world it, and he just effectively just lost out on 2 damage across your board.
Yeah, the first game, I was in very bad shape. I had a lot of little drops. So I tried to. The first game, since it's a mirror, we're both playing lanterns. I want to hit lanterns. That's why I was playing lantern. And seeing best to try to hit lanterns. I just keep hitting 1 drops. I saw a beast. I said, well, this is going to be the card that's going to sing.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach that number. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to sing afterwards.
Exactly.
And he hit a lantern, which
is just bonus.
Yeah, and given the game state, he had 2 cards in his hand. He needed to win. It kept him off.
Right, it kept him off Tank, and he decided not to cast. So then you just punished him because you're like, well,
yes.
that game felt really great. The smash early on the aerial kept him from playing cards for a couple turns, and then the beast later on kept him from playing Tank, and then he opted to not play the Grab Your Sword. So like you just really controlled the early game, and you just gained as much resources as you possibly could, and then the whole new world, you had no cards in your hand when you casted it.
Yeah, well, the first game after that, for some reason, all the cards aligned. I kept singing cards, shifting and Tinker, everything. Mana was perfect. They had no hand, whole new world. No hand, whole new world.
Yeah.
And at that point, after I hold the first renewal, yes, he double grabbed my sword, but those were his last two.
Yeah, exactly.
I could just flood the board with.
Yeah, I saw you you were very in his banish and his discard pile, and you were counting shift, which made it really easy for us. It made it really helpful. Thank you very much.
I always put them in the same with Rubianes. I just put them in the same number.
Made it really easy for us to see. So thank you very much. But yeah, you could see that you were very at the end of the game. You knew you're like, well, I just have I don't know, 13 lore in play. You have no way to answer this. Go.
Yeah, usually you get until 8, maybe 9, 10. Afterwards, you just flood the board.
Yeah.
There's going to be a turn where you're going to hit lethal.
Yeah.
And the other games, Surfer's pretty much the best card in the mirror, and any other mashup. It's just very late game.
Surfer's really good.
Except with Lantern. That's why I think the Lantern builds the best.
Right. Now, for game 2, I called it on stream. The moment you played a turn 3 Rockstar Stitch, I said that you had won the event. Because I think that is the most powerful play in the game. And from me to you, have you ever lost a game when you've played turn 3 Rockstar Stitch?
I've won games when they've played turn 3 Rockstar Stitch against me because I have Smash. And I can later on, they're not going to kill you that fast. You can grab your sword and smash. But if you play against any other deck that's not the mirror, it's a game breaker.
Yeah,
it just hits for 3. You don't even have to use its effect.
Yeah. And it's there. There's not a lot of cards that answer it at all on turn 3 or 4.
Your opponent has to waste 2 or 3 cards to end that he has already Lord for 6.
Right.
You don't need his effect. He's a threat in itself.
It's even a bonus when you get the effect.
And the deck's built for it. That's why another reason we use it was to get Simbas and I want to play all the Ruby MSs. I think this deck's like a 60-40 matchup against Amber still in the build I had.
I agree.
Because Hades, even if you don't loop Hades, you prepare your turn be prepared. You put a Rockstar and a Baby Simba. You're going to draw most of your deck, and pretty much it's very important at the beginning of the game when you're actually scrying your 4 cards to put them in an order where you're going to shotgun all the little ones or draw your cards. Because eventually I knew I wasn't going to get to the bottom. I knew I was going to Rockstar and play everything that's at the bottom of the deck.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Any last thoughts about the event?
No, it was a great event. A lot of tough players, interesting lists. I think the deck that I wasn't prepared for at all. I practiced a lot of matchups, but was blue red.
Blue red. Okay,
blue red, and it's horrible matchup for me because he has more removal than me, and he lacks draw.
Yeah.
I can't play Whole New World, so I have to play for the Surfer, and that takes a while.
Was that one of your losses?
No, my loss was a mirror against more beefy Amber Steel. I lost pretty much the first game. My opponent had almost no hand, no field. I was at 19. Summon a monster. I lost, and then in time killed me. I had lethal and over 2 turns. I didn't have enough turns.
So where did you finish after day 1?
8th.
Oh, because you were top 8 still, okay.
Yes, and I tied against a Ruby Amethyst. I clearly won a game, convincingly won the first game. Second game, it came down to me playing around an Elsa or a Aladdin with a pocket watch, and I saw his graveyard. There were already 3 Elsas there. I played around the Aladdin, and he had the Elsa. Yeah. And he just beat me in time and we tied.
Yeah. Time seemed to be a big factor in this event. 50 minutes as you know. Now they've concluded largest event, 8 rounds. What's your thoughts on the end of game procedure?
I think it's fine. Maybe they could try to do highest lore, but that would be very unfair to. Even though everyone thinks Ruby Amethyst is probably going to be number 1, it would be unfair to people that want to play control because there's different game styles. People can play slower games, and you're never going to win a game in time if you're playing a control deck.
Right.
And people ain't going to play in tournaments.
Right.
And you want people to play the whole experience of any deck they want. So I think Anna's procedure is fine.
Very fair.
I had no issue at all.
Well, sir, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Huge showing. Is there anyone you want to shout out, thank for your weekend?
I want to shout out Michael. He's the one Michael Rivera. He's the one that supported practice with yesterday with the top 16 matchup. That was very interesting. Ruby Amethyst. I've never seen playing the 4
across Elsa. Shout out to Colby.
And I was like, yes, this deck's designed to beat me. those things are gonna beat my monsters and survive, and that's
Yeah.
the issue in that matchup. And he played the basic package, which is the hardest build, because he cannot raise me.
Right.
And that's how I lost game 2, almost lost game 3 against him. So yeah, that was a very interesting matchup. And whoever built the deck, was his name Wonderland? I don't know. And
Yeah, shout out to Colby Jerish. That was Colby Jerish's deck. He was your opponent in top 16, right?
Yeah. Well, he's a great deck builder.
Yeah, he's a gamer. I talked about him on stream a little bit yesterday. He's good at all games. So it's not shocking to me at all that he was able to build and construct a version of that deck that we hadn't really seen.
Yeah, it was a great deck. Pretty much a 54 card shell. You just decide with cannons, depending on the meta. But even if you play cannons with Ruby, I mean, it's the best deck in the format.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank
you. Stream, we're going to be right back in a second, but congratulations one last time.
Thank you.
And is there more PPGs in your future?
Maybe I'll travel.
I like it. All right, so we're going to go to a quick ad roll for our next events coming up on the Lorcana Pro Tour organized. I'm losing it all, guys, but we're going to watch some ads.
It's been a long weekend.